Hello guys, this is Mr. Gloria and welcome to another video tutorial for Algebra 1. And today we're going to go over finding the range given some domain of the function. Just a quick review. We know that the domain are the x value of the functions and the range are the y value of the functions. Also, this is known as the f of x, the function of x. Okay, so let's use this first example in here. Y equals x minus 5, given domain is or are 4, 6, and 8. Whenever the x equals 6 equals 4 first, and x equals 6, x equals 8, what are their corresponding y values? Okay, this time we're gonna use an application. Okay, this is the Desmos calculator. You can also have an access to this from our Google Classroom under classwork tab. Okay, let me open my Desmos calculator in here, which is right over here. So what I'm going to do is simply type the equation y equals x minus 5, the given function or the given equation. Now notice that there's this gear on the upper right corner of the equation window. So I'm going to press that. Okay. Now I have option of having a table, duplicating the function, or changing the color of the graph. But I want the table of values. Okay. So I'm going to click on the table of values right here. Bam. And it shows me values of x, the domain value from -2 all the way to +2, and the corresponding range value on the other side. But we want 4. Okay, so -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. There's no +4 in here. So what we do is just press the arrow down to add another domain value, which is this time we're going to press 4. Boom. Whenever x is 4, y is -1. Okay, whenever the domain is 4, the range is -1. Okay, let's add another x value or domain value, which is 6, and that gives us the range of +1 and one more domain value of 8. So the values are -1, 1, and +3 respectively. So I'm going to go back to my Jamboard to finish our answers in here. When x is 4, y is 1, -1. When x is 6, y is 1. And when x is 8, y equals 3. So therefore, the range, okay, the range here will be, you draw your little curly bracket, -1, comma 1, comma 3, and another curly bracket in the end. So whenever the domain are 4, 6, and 8, the range, the corresponding range for those domain values are -1, 1, and 3. So that's how easy it is, you know. All you have to do is to type the value or the equation and look for the domain values, and it will give you the corresponding range of value. Okay, moving on to the next frame. Let's have another example in here. The equation y equals 3x plus 1, given that the domain values are x is -1, what is going to be our y? Okay, when x is 0, what is going to be our y? When x is +1, what is y? And when x equals +4, what is y? Okay, right, so I'm gonna go back to my Desmos calculator right here. Okay, and since I'm not gonna need well, I'm just gonna leave it here, so I'm gonna add another equation in here. Okay, So that equation is y equals 3x plus 1. So y equals 3x plus 1. Okay. So same thing. Don't worry about the red graphs, but actually I can, click on the red circle here to remove the graph. Now we're on the blue or purple equation. So again, we're gonna click the gear button in here or the setting button and then add table of values. So in the table of values, it always starts from -2 and ends in the +2. But you can always, add values in here, okay? Since the three values are already provided, -1, when the domain is -1, the range is negative what? -2. When the domain is 0, the range is 1. And when the domain is +1, the range is +4. Now we need one more value for the domain, which is x equals 4. So let's go ahead and add x equals 4, and that gives us 13. So the range of values here are the following: -2 when x is -1, +1 when x is 0, +4 when x is +1, and 13 when x or the domain is 4. Okay, let's go back to our Jamboard to complete our answer. So when x is -1, y is -2. When x equals 0, y equals 1. When x equals 1, y equals 4. And when x equals 4, y equals 13. So let's write our final answer. Okay, range. Okay, don't forget your little curly bracket. -2, +1, 4, and 13. Okay, there you have it. So when the domain values are -1, 0, 1, and 4, the range values are -2, 1, 4, and 13, given the equation y equals 3x plus 1. All right? Okay, so moving on to the last and final example in here. So the given equation is y equals 3/5x plus 2. Okay, now when the domain values or the x values are like -10, x equals 0, and x equals +5, what are the corresponding y or range of values for these? So let's switch to our Desmos calculator. So if you're using your computer, all you have to do is to go to the tab where the Desmos calculator is open, then you can type the function in there. Okay, so since I'm using my iPad in here, boom. Okay, I'm gonna type another function. So I'm just gonna click on here under the or in here under the second function. Okay, so let's type it. Y equals 3/5. Then make sure to press the arrow to the right to get out of the function or get out of the fraction. And then we have x plus 2. Boom. So here's another graph, which is the blue. So I'm going to turn off the purple graph by clicking on that circle. All right, now let's go back to that function and click the settings or the gear on the upper right corner. Boom. Now what do we want? We want the table of values. Again, the table of values always start from -2, 1, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So since the domain of values are not here, so let's type it. Let's add those values. First x value that we need is -10, and the range value is -4. When x or range is 0, well, we have it over here. When x is 0, y is +2, or the range is +2. Now, when the domain or the x value is 5. Ooh, the range value is also 5. So there you have it. Negative 10, negative 4, 0, 2, and 5, 5. Let's go back to our Jamboard and enter our answer. When x is negative 10, y is negative 4. When x is 0, y is positive 2. And when x is 5, y is equals to 5. So that gives us a range of negative 4, positive 2, positive 5. This is based on domain value of negative 10, 0, and 5 from the function y equals 3 over 5x plus 2. There you have it. There are the range. Okay, now as I always tell everybody, practice, 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 because practice makes perfect. Once again, this is Mr. Gloria telling you to enjoy practice with your algebra skills.